Hi everyone, welcome to our video. I'm Robert.
And I am Logan.
We are Spire enthusiasts and have over 2,000 hours of Slay the Spire between us.
We recently made a bot that plays the game. We've named it Bottled AI and wanted to share one of its runs with you.
In case you're not familiar with Slay the Spire, it is a roguelike deck builder game. It's a strategy game, but you have to adapt quite a bit along the way and react to new situations.
So our bot is written using the CommunicationMod, shout out to ForgottenArbiter. It's written in Python, and it is only for Ironclad. But the main thing that's interesting about this bot is that there's no cheating, so there's no save scumming, RNG predictions based off the seed, anything like that. It has only the access to information that you would as a player.
So, as you can see, our bot is already happily throwing strikes and defense out there. The first thing I'd like to talk a little bit more about is the card selection. Here we've got a few cards we need to choose from, and our bot is going to pursue a very specific strategy where it just tries to do a lot of damage. In this case, Perfected Strike is a pretty good card for that. It's at the top of our card priority list, so the bot, if it sees it, it's going to grab that and happily move along.
So one of the more complicated portions of the bot is the battle. The battle is using something called graph traversal to figure out every meaningful play that it could make from a hand of cards. So it looks at all the cards that you have, and it comes up with all of the possibilities on how you could play every card legally, and against which enemies you could play it. Then it comes up with the results of each one of those possibilities, things like the damage dealt, incoming damage received, the enemies killed, things like your relic states. And then it uses a lot of comparators to find the best path for that situation, and then we play it. Some enemies, however, need custom logic. So as you see, we just threw away our entire hand at the start of this fight. And that's because Lagavulin here, he's a very specific enemy that we need to fight with a more complicated strategy. We don't just want to do damage to him, we also want to wait and apply some statuses first. And so we've written some custom handlers for specific enemies like Lagavulin or Transient or Gremlin Mob, where the bot then knows to employ some of these like heuristics that we have from all of our Slay the Spire experience.
Alright, so Logan, you've been telling us now about how cool our battle logic is. I'm here to tell you now about some of our less sophisticated logic. I'd like to draw your attention now to the potions in the top here. Basically, our logic right now for potions is if you see a boss, throw potions at him. Now, this isn't ideal, but potions are complicated, and finding the right moment to use them in all scenarios was a bit too much for us to start with here, so we just throw them at bosses.
Sometimes throwing potions is all you need.
Boss relics. Here, basically, we've just got a prioritized list. We know that the build we're going for involves a lot of energy usage, so if a relic gives us energy, that's the one that we're very likely to pick. In this case, we're taking Snecko.
So Snecko is a great boss relic, not just in general, but also particularly for Bottled AI. So Bottle is able to dynamically look at the energy cost of cards and adjust for them. So where you as a player may struggle in accounting for a card being at a different cost than it is normally and trying to figure out how to play your hand optimally, it doesn't phase the AI here at all. Here we are fighting the birds, which can be a very tricky enemy normally. They have a particular buff applied to them called Flying, which will reduce the damage that they receive by half, and it has this peculiar mechanic where once you have struck that enemy 3 or 4 times, depending on the difficulty level you're playing at, they will be stunned. So this is a very important buff to be playing around, and it's something that we have taught the battle AI.
So the shop gives us an opportunity to make a lot of new decisions. Most importantly though, the shop will get used to get rid of curses, pick up another Perfected Strike, or grab some particularly useful relics. In this case, it looks like we're just going to get rid of a defend, because that doesn't fit into our strike build.
So optimizing your pathing can be a pretty complicated thing to do in Slay the Spire. With Bottle, we have taken a relatively simple approach. She'll look at two things: survivability, so guessing how much damage we'll take and heal by going a certain path, and also rewards. how much useful stuff we'll get from a path, like gold or relics. And then she'll pick which way to go. Again, this is a graph problem, so all of the paths are being considered, and then we choose the most optimal route that we have of them. This will also adjust dynamically, so if we take a bad fight and then there's a fork in the road ahead, Bottle should adjust to go the smarter way and go the easier route to heal up instead of taking an elite.
There are a couple dozen events in the game. Now, events are places where you need to make a decision, and these have certain consequences. In many cases, we have hard-coded what the choice should be when we think there's an obvious good choice, either for the strategy we're pursuing or because the bot is able to make use of the result well or not well. But there's also some where we are a little bit more careful, and we double check that we're going to have enough health to deal with the consequences of the event.
So in some cases, when acquiring a card through events or also through the chest from Cursed Key, if you move quickly enough, you won't actually get that card into your deck. I think that some speedrunners can use this, actually, to their advantage. And that's what Bottle was doing for a while. So the Cursed Key was looking like it was extremely powerful because we weren't actually getting the downsides. Bottle was cheating in that way. So we had to put it in line and show it how to play properly. One of the other things that the Battle AI handles quite well are particular relics with charges, things like Pennib and Nunchaku. Normally these are rather difficult relics to use optimally as players. We can very easily forget that we're on that 9th charge, and then using the 10th one we can either waste the extra damage or the energy that we'll be receiving, or we don't play them in the correct order to optimize the damage that we could have been dealing. However, the Battle AI here is fully aware of that, and so it is able to plan out really complex turns in order to achieve the optimal outcome at the end. And it even knows to stack those relics when it's able to.
Alrighty, Time Eater. I like that our fully optimized potion handler gave us a demon form.
Yes, that was part of our strategy from the beginning. So this boss is particularly tricky because of the way that it will end your turn once you've played 12 cards. Our bot, unfortunately, does not know this. Oof. This is getting tricky. That works.
We won. Thanks for watching along. We didn't just win once though. This particular run we selected out of a run of 30 runs that had been played. And out of those 30 we actually won 5 of them, which we're pretty excited about.
So there's lots of cool things that we could do after this. We can develop new strategies, we could work on ascension modes, other characters than just the Ironclad. We could implement some machine learning algorithms, and of course we want to open up the project to the Spire community and make this open source so everybody can use it.
What would you like to see? If there's something you're particularly interested in hearing about or letting us know about, please leave a comment below, either here on the YouTube video or over on Reddit, where we'll also be posting. And thanks for watching.